Be advised, mature content ahead. This podcast is brought to you ad-free thanks to the Legion of Demons at patreon.com/NOTLP. If you like what you hear, there's much more at patreon.com/NOTLP. Join the Legion. That's patreon.com/NOTLP. And now the show.
How do you do? Just a word of friendly warning. I think it will thrill you. It may shock you. It might even horrify you. So if any of you feel that you do not care to subject your nerves to such a strain, now is your chance to, well, we've warned you.
It's Amy's pick.
Hey!
Yay,
Amy.
Yay, Amy.
Turns out it's her nose.
Before we get to Amy's pick, Andy will review something called The School for Straight-to-Video Russian Roulette.
So called.
Kelley's here. I'm Freddy. And tonight's all about Amy.
Yes, but before it's all about me,
It's also all about that bass.
Yeah.
we want to wish Freddy a happy belated birthday.
Oh,
Happy birthday.
Hey, happy birthday.
Amy bagged up Jeremy's shirt and it's ready to be shipped. Can you believe it?
And Andy's going to ship it tomorrow.
That's awesome.
That small t-shirt's going to be on its way.
I'll believe it
That's
when
what
we
you
don't
want, right?
announce that we didn't send it on the next show.
I thought it was an extra small.
It's actually a Blood Good Horror t-shirt.
Whoops. So we're recording this on a Thursday night because when you're hearing this, we're in Walt Disney World living it up because Andy and Amy both turned 40.
We're 40.
You mean
Yeah.
38?
I'm not 40 yet. Like,
Yeah.
I'm down.
They have 80 years of life
She
experience
has
between them.
4 hours left.
I'm still relevant and vibrant for a little bit longer.
Amy, 40 is good.
I know. I'm actually not super worried
You're
about
going to love it.
that.
You're going to love the way you look.
Yeah.
Garrison tease it.
I guarantee it.
But, there's a way that society treats men who are 40 and over, and the way society treats women that are 40 and over, and certainly childless women.
And they say as men age into their middle age,
Like
that
a fine wine.
we become more sensitive.
I think that's true.
And I was watching the second season of Lost in Space, and I can verify that's true.
I cry all the time. I listen to songs all the time. I just start crying.
Yeah.
Andy cries at the drop of a hat for commercials and
My
TV
hat.
shows. His hat fell.
It's on the floor in my hat.
Spilt milk in his
Yeah.
hat. Now my hat has
He
milk.
cries
on
for
it.
Argentina,
Yeah.
And they say don't.
he
But I
does
do anyway.
because he's punk rock like that. Patreon. Thank you, patrons.
Yes.
Thank you.
We continue to pay for this very expensive computer with your help.
So expensive.
Just,
Well, we just
when
had
you
to get
think
the
everything's done.
we just had to get the diamond keys upgraded.
Yeah. But thank you again for your help. Amy and I recorded a Night of the Comic. When you're hearing this, Origins episode 80 from 2007, our first year in review episode we ever did.
Oh my gosh.
You can listen to that.
I don't think it was even called the rear end at that point.
No,
Nope, not
well,
yet.
Right after the last year end review that we did almost.
Yeah, we were almost synced up and then we missed a week.
Yeah.
We'll get there.
We'll get there one of these days.
The moons and the
'Cause
tides
we'll
will
have
pull
missed-
you back together.
Yeah, we'll have missed a week back then.
Right.
And somehow, I don't know. Either way, we'll be...
Let's really sit down and get a
Can we think
calendar
about
out
it? We'll
on
be,
air.
We'll be in the Enchantment Under the Sea dance, and we're going to start disappearing from photos.
I hope one of you will play a classic song
Yeah.
that kids will love in the future.
Kelley, guess what book I'm reading right now?
The Shining?
Shining.
Yay!
Yeah.
I told you I was going to start it.
You did? I thought you already did, actually.
Not yet. Sorry.
Kelley, you don't even have to read The Outsider now. It's a series on HBO.
I know. I have read most of it.
But you don't even have to now.
I know. I don't.
You can just
He
watch
was
the
never
show.
going to.
I'm going to.
Oh,
someday.
you don't even need to, though. Why? There's a TV show.
No, I know there is. And Jason Bateman, one of my very favorite Hollywood people.
Speaking of Jason Bateman, I tried to start Ozark. Mm-hmm. Have you watched it?
Not yet.
It's on Netflix. It's basically like a Breaking Bad.
Yeah,
It's not as good as Breaking Bad.
I keep meaning to hit it up again because I love him.
Yeah, I love him too. But this is not. I mean, it's people rave about it, but I was a little disappointed.
All right.
I only made it like a couple episodes in before I gave up.
All right. Yes, Jason Bateman is okay.
It's no Breaking Bad.
It's no Breaking
Let's
Bad.
do Jason Bateman. Jason Bateman a month.
I love Jason Bateman.
I would love to do Jason Bateman.
Yeah.
We could do The Gift.
Yeah,
The Hogan family.
I love The Gift.
That's such a great
It is really, really good.
The Hogan family.
We could do the Hogan family or the Hogans or Valerie's family, whichever version you prefer.
Yeah.
We can do Family Ties.
What?
His sister was in that.
Oh yeah,
That's right.
That would be a Justine Bateman.
Justine Bateman, who was in that movie Satisfaction.
You know the difference between Justine Bateman and Justin Bateman?
There's no Justin Bateman.
You put a what?
What's the answer to your joke?
Put a bow in his hair.
That easy, huh?
Who's Justin Bateman?
I don't know.
Is that their younger brother?
That's the Bateman no one talks about.
Have a bow in his hair.
Patrick Bateman.
He's Elizabeth Olsen of the Batemans. We haven't got to him yet. This is the first night show we've done in a while that I'm dead sober for.
What?
Oh yeah.
Usually when we do these, I've had a few somethings.
I almost made drinks before we started, and I'm kind of glad I didn't.
Yeah, I gotta go to bed.
Yeah, we gotta go to bed early. I gotta work early in the morning.
I gotta go do stuff.
Gobby goo.
Day job.
Blah.
Yeah. What else?
There's an impeachment trial.
We don't need to talk politics.
Kobe Bryant died.
Oof.
That was, I wasn't like a huge Kobe Bryant fan, but I mean, obviously, if you're not feeling like heartbroken by that whole story, there's something wrong with you.
What's terrible?
Yeah.
Because I've seen people attacking him like the day he died.
Of course.
And I was like, that's a bit much.
If somebody dies that had rape allegations against them at a certain point, but it's been a long time and they were never prosecuted or anything, you got to wait at least a week before you start tweeting about that. Mm-hmm. Them's the rules. I don't make them.
Yeah.
It also reinforced my feeling that I probably will never take a ride in a helicopter.
Oh God,
just for
never.
fun.
I was already on that train,
yeah.
but this is for sure cemented.
I wasn't. For a while, I really wanted to like take one of those like vacation, at the beach or in Gatlinburg. But they crash a lot.
Yeah.
I mean, all the time.
Do you watch the Colbert late night show?
Not in a long time.
It's called. Did you know
Colbert Report?
His
father and brother,
and
right?
his father and two brothers died in a plane crash.
Motherfuck.
But he was like, they were able to explain like what happened because of the black box. But he brought up on his show, I think it was last night or the night before, that helicopters don't have any equivalent that they have to have. Most of them, they can never reconstruct what happened.
Yeah.
And they're like, so they can never improve.
That's some true life horror for you, listeners.
So I'm down with not getting on a helicopter.
Yeah, it's a shame. I would love to.
Yeah.
I always think it looks really fun and cool, but it also they crash all the fucking time.
It seems like it.
So at the end of Jurassic Park, you would just stayed on the island?
Yeah.
We take his chances.
Take a chance
he
with
took
the
a pterodactyl on.
dinosaurs. Yeah.
I would have holed up. I would have holed up in a log with that kid from Jurassic Park 3. He was doing okay. He had all that T-Rex urine.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you can survive for a while on that. A lot of electrolytes.
Oh.
You know?
I'd have been like Tarzan of the Raptors.
So I guess I got to return that helicopter ride gift I got you guys.
Please do.
Andy, son of a bitch.
I think a lot of people canceled after that.
Yeah.
How's the
I'm sure.
helicopter industry doing?
But before this, I was already like,
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I was side-eyeing that bullshit. Yeah, so the world is dark and scary, but there are good things to be had.
yeah,
And we're going to
Out
talk
there.
about one of the great things, Star Trek.
Yeah!
that is one of the great things.
Amy, what did you pick for your movie? Did you already say?
I picked Khan!
The OG
That's
Wrath
my
of Khan.
best Shatner yelling
She's talking about Shaka Khan, though.
about Chaka Khan.
Yeah.
It's going to be great, you
It's
guys.
fun.
Wait for Amy to nerd out.
Khan's a bad motherfucker, but he's also
Yeah.
a little overconfident.
Yeah. It's because he's so sexy.
It's the bangs.
It'll be his undoing one day.
Anybody with aggressive bangs like that.
He's kind of got Gelfling hair.
Yeah.
No, I thought he looked like one of the Mystics from Dark Crystal.
Yeah,
It's that hair.
he's very dark crystally.
Yeah. There's a fun piece of trivia Amy found out about his henchmen when we were watching this the second
According to
time.
IMDb, a lot of his henchmen were also Chippendale dancers.
That
during filming.
makes about
perfect sense.
And one of them was in Bachelor Party, the Tom Hanks movie, as a Chippendale dancer.
Yeah, I thought those dudes looked real like polished for people who'd been stranded on a
Do you kind of
planetoid for...
Yeah.
they had left the little bow ties on them, though?
I do wish that now
would've
that I
been
know
real
that.
cool.
With the space bow ties, though.
Yeah, they're like, they light up or something. Anything else for the top before we get into Andy's
Space
movie?
lights up.
I don't know, though. It's just been a fun week.
Yeah.
Everybody, the birthday onslaught is coming to an end, and that's always nice. It's less pressure.
Sounds terrifying.
know.
Amy cooked dinner for me last night.
did.
And I'll tell you, that's like very special
So
for me.
how was your lean cuisine?
No, she made real food.
Yeah, no, she didn't.
Yeah. It's
I
good.
made real food,
She
and I
did.
hated every second of it.
What did you make? You guys are being real cagey
I
about this
know.
real
Well,
food.
Listen,
It was foie gras stuffed
none
in
of
veal.
your business. We use Meal Lime. It's an app, and it puts your meals together. And it had me make a
This sounds like an
It told
ad.
you what to make.
It told me, bitch.
The robot that planned Freddy's birthday dinner for you.
Yeah.
It was a cheeseburger quesadilla
It was damn fine.
with a pico de
Yeah.
gallo.
Sounds delicious.
I fucking hate chopping onions. There is nothing worse on this.
I need to show you
planet.
how to do it the right way.
Like, if somebody could just promise me I never had to do that again, but Donald Trump would be president for the rest of my life, I would have a hard time.
Well,
Do you use
do you want me to
onions
get
a
you
lot?
a better food? Yes, at every meal, pretty
hate
much. Y'all get a food processor.
Yes. I
Then
just
you
need
don't have to do it anymore.
anything.
Or one of those slices.
Yeah.
I mean, you can even get one of those.
A
just
mandolin.
fucking- yeah.
How do you feel
Or
about
that
How do you
thing.
feel about broccoli?
Broccoli doesn't bother me because I can like use my hands
Chopping
and I can
Broccoli doesn't bother me.
You see,
chopping broccoli.
he didn't carbied you.
Yeah. I just hate it. I hate the way
Turtle.
that my eyes burn.
Underrated.
I hate the way that I can't. My knife
Pistachios,
cuts
Cassie.
aren't good.
You
it
know,
takes for goddamn
Some
ever.
people wear goggles whilst they chop onions.
that's
And gloves.
You know?
Yeah.
Do you do that? I didn't mean to.
No, because I'm good.
Okay. It takes practice. It's like anything else. You got to practice
But I
chopping onions.
hate it.
But then when you get good at it, you're going to be like, damn, I'm good at this.
Yeah.
And then you're going to take pride in it. And you'll be like, I made little onion pieces out of that whole onion.
He's got to practice, and take a left.
Yeah, just like Carnegie Hall. But I could just buy you a food processor.
Please do.
And then when you make dinner, you can use that.
Okay.
But then you got to wash it. But it's easier probably for you than the actual chopping, right?
It just takes this whole.
Well, get a Ronco. The chopping thing.
That's what Kelley was just talking
Oh,
about.
yeah.
Yeah, I mimed
He mimed it, though.
This is like Amy's Real Talk corner. This is where I get real.
Roll.
This is where I get real.
So roll.
That fucking app is like heat up a pan with a little bit of oil in it, then quickly chop up this onion, and then come back and put the onion in the pan. I'm like, my whole house would burn down if I did that. It takes me an hour to chop this fucking onion. How fucking dare you?
They said quickly.
Don't be
That's the part
don't
you
be a
left.
slave to recipe.
If you watch cooking shows, amateur chefs, the thing they always struggle with is cutting onions.
Yeah, well, it's bullshit and I hate it.
There's a right way to do it, and then you do it 1,000 times that way, and you're fine. So all you got to
Okay.
do is
All right. Well, you know
slice
what?
1,000 onions.
Gotta have a
This
sharp
is-
knife.
This
Yeah.
is one of those
Yeah,
instances.
you gotta have a very sharp knife.
I'm not looking for you to fix it. I'm just looking for you to go, I know, Amy, that is hard.
It's a very man
but the thing is,
isn't it,
it's
Amy?
not. It's not
It's a
that
very
hard.
man thing to try to fix your problem instead of just listening to you.
It's surmountable.
Why can't it just
Preach.
be hard?
That's what she said.
Oh, thank God you did it.
Ah!
God!
That implies that there's an erectile dysfunction problem.
You know what? It's fine. I'm going to drink margaritas every day for the next 9 days. So it'll be fine.
That will be
Yep.
fine.
All right,
Come back with a drinking problem.
we'll be back
Bye.
with the drinking problem right after this.
Try chopping onions after that.
Hello, boys and girls. It's time for Straight-to-Video Russian Roulette.
Hell exists only in the mind, Amy.
My son is here.
Andy. Sorry about the little extra bit at the end. I wasn't paying attention.
Freddie.
I was distracted by our schedule.
So I watched The School.
You got school.
On the Hulu.
On the Hulu?
I watched it on the television.
Oh, wow. Look at you.
This is a bad title.
Yeah.
And it fits the movie because it's a bad movie.
Oh.
Yeah, it was not good. I mean, when I was watching, I was like, you know how some movies would make you angry?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I was like, I don't want to go
Kelley
there.
knows.
I don't want to go there. I'm 40 years old. I can't be pissed off about movies anymore.
Yeah.
Well, you know, I have that same feeling all the time. I feel like I've mellowed out, but that fucking one I just did, it brought me right back. I'm interested to see how you feel about this.
Bad movies, you're really testing my patience.
So you're feeling it. You thought you were good.
You're lucky I'm 40 and in a Zen place. Otherwise, you know. But yeah, it doesn't. Just because I'm in a better place doesn't make this a good movie.
Okay.
This movie's
It's a
not
real bad
better
movie.
place,
Okay,
yeah.
there's this lady, right? She just wakes up in a tub.
Tub lady,
It was Tub Girl.
but grown up.
It was real gross.
Now she's
And
Tub lady,
Here's the thing about this movie. It throws a bunch of shit at you.
like Tub girl.
Yeah. This is sounding familiar.
What did I watch?
Just Tub girl.
It throws a lot of things at you, and it takes forever to answer the questions.
Oh, Lord.
And at the same time, it doesn't answer the questions. So you're like, what? Huh? Okay, there's this lady, right? She wakes up in this other worldly place. It's like ghost world.
Is she still in a tub?
She got out of the tub.
All right, she gets out of the tub into the ghost world.
Yeah.
Okay.
The tub is in the
Out of
ghost
the
world.
tub,
I guess.
into the
Yeah.
ghost world.
And she wakes up
Into
in
the
the
woods and out of the
school, and it jumps back and forth between.
Is it
times.
Monster High?
I wish. I did watch Monster High, and that's actually really fun.
It's rock and roll high school.
Andy's giving you sassy pointing fingers. He's like, I actually did point.
Yeah, Monster
And it was
High
good.
is real
Point.
fun. It's real fun.
Is that like Brat Stalls? Isn't that what the
Yeah,
Monster
kind of.
High
I think it's
thing?
like Bratz
Yeah.
dolls. I don't really know from
They're like a
Bratz.
Brat stall, but they got bit by a vampire.
They like
Oh.
sexy monsters. You like sexy
But
monsters?
also children.
Yeah.
Sexy child monsters.
But it's different in the monster world. We're allowed
No,
to
I get
sexualize
it.
them.
Well, because you don't know how old they really
Yeah.
are.
They're undead, so
Yeah.
they could be 800s of years old.
Yep.
they're
Skirt
not.
So she wakes up in the ghost world, and there's a bunch of children there, but they're like this Mad Maxy, Lord of the Flies type tribe.
Scarlett Johansson and Thora Birch just keep making snarky comments at
Yeah.
her. That's a deep cut. It's not that deep.
Yeah.
Yeah. Ghost World.
It's just a cut. Yep.
Yeah. Okay.
And I'm so confused at why there's ghost tribes.
Ghost Tribe. Sounds like a rap
Oh,
album.
you don't want ghosts to come together and
there's a-
protect each other?
There's a leader of the ghost tribe, and he tries to keep he tries to have, he rules with an iron fist.
And they're like Mad Maxy?
Yeah.
I feel like if you're going to do this, it has to be big budget. And if you're not going to do it big budget, this shouldn't happen.
Well, they're Mad Maxy meets ICP.
No.
Oh.
Meets like Adam's Family. It's just
So when you become a ghost, you just become a complete weirdo.
It's-
And
I kind of feel like ICP is already like Mad Max.
yeah, right?
Yeah, you don't even have to say
I'm talking
it
about-
meets. It's like that's what happened in
talking
real
about,
life.
like the face painty stuff.
Yeah.
It's like they had all these things on a dartboard, like all these like themes, and
They call each other fam.
they just threw it at it, and they said whatever it lands on, we're going to throw in this movie, and that's what it is.
Yeah. They drink Fey Ghost.
That's a good one, Freddie.
How do they feel about magnets?
And there's
Do they
other
understand them? Do they not understand them?
Well, now that they're dead, they understand them.
Oh, that's the reward.
Yep.
They get all the knowledge of the world. Mm-hmm. And there's these other types of ghosts called the Hungries.
Oh, Lord.
And
Are they
there's
fat? I hope they're real fat.
If Freddie and Andy were in the ghost world, they would be on the hungry.
They're the
You know what I love
Hungries.
about all these? They always have to come up with a name for things, like a weird cutesy name.
Yeah.
The Further, the Hungries, the this,
but
the that.
and there's also the Weepers or the Reapers. Or
We call the walkers zombies. You call them stinkers. We call them drippers.
So are they with the weepos?
the Weepos, but they're never explained what the Hungries.
Oh God.
They just throw Snickers at him and they'll be fine.
Oh, yeah. We call them Oompa Loompas.
And they never explain what the weepers. It was British, so I couldn't understand them. They don't understand.
You know they speak English, right?
I know, but it's real heavily accented.
This movie sounds like, you know how after Halloween you got your bowl of candy and then like 2 months after Halloween you picked all the chocolate out of it and now it's just a mishmash of shitty candy?
Yeah.
That's what this movie sounds like.
Within the first 5 minutes of the movie, she wakes up in the tub and this creepy child walks up to her and says, "You're not supposed to be here." And he said, "I'll leave."
And she's like, "You're not supposed to be here."
And he just looks like he just ate a purple popsicle. Because you know those purple popsicle lips?
Yeah.
Purple popsicle lips.
That's the extent of his makeup. So
Great cam girl.
He's
Purple
like,
popsicle lips.
"I'll lead you to safety." And he says, "Watch out, here comes a hungry." Not the country, but the hungries.
Yeah.
The ghost
Right.
things. And it's never explained why they had to watch out for these things.
Is they hungry?
Do they eat
And
other ghosts or something?
I guess. I don't know. And
Like Pac-Man?
Nothing's been answered, right?
the
You already
ghost
said
tribe of the children, they have to avoid the hungries, avoid the reapers or weepers. I don't know. And
that. There's a lot of avoidance in the ghost world.
and you're not allowed to sing for some reason.
Ironic considering
Can't
ghosting.
sing.
And everybody talks in riddles.
Oy vey.
You know, like the bird was singing in the yard and ate the seeds.
This
or
movie
something
sounds like it's
that.
trying to piss people off. Like, how can we just absolutely make it nearly impossible to watch our movie?
I don't know why you're not allowed to sing. And if you sing or break the rules, you go down to the basement.
Oh, what's down there?
So we've got.
Don't know what
Black mold.
Something happens to you in the basement. I think you get turned into a hungry.
You get touched in a bad way.
And there's water down there.
So you got reapers, hungries, basements. What else is there?
Human traffic
You got
cones.
ladies in tubs. It's the hottest nightclub in New
A
York
woman
City.
with nothing left to lose.
I think there's a dog fart in here with us.
Oh, there
I'm
is.
sensing a dog fart.
Oh, that was in the movie too. The dog farts. You had to avoid them too.
The dog farts, they're in the attic of the school.
I'm going to go ahead and shame Millie. That was a Millie fart.
So I guess this lady, she works in the hospital and her son's in a coma. And
Well, when you do what you love, you never work again. Really.
the world that she goes to is like heaven for children or something.
Oh, God.
And
I thought hell was for
I don't.
children.
She ends up there. I'm going to spoil this movie.
But she ends up in
Oh,
dog
no.
heaven instead.
So if you don't want this movie spoiled, fast
Don't
forward.
watch it.
Don't watch it. Anyway, the movie is spoiled already. She commits.
Ew, this movie's spoiled. How long has it been in here?
To smell it.
You got to
Ugh.
rotate your stock. Oh, Millie.
Speaking of,
It is a little rank
she's
over here.
rotating her stock.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah. What does the lady do?
I don't know if it's hard to review this movie because there's so much happening, and it's hard not to cars this movie.
I hate it already.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know why if you're a ghost tribe that you choose to have those uniforms and that look. It's just weird.
Where do you get uniforms?
Well, it's like Mad Maxy stuff.
No, I know, but where do they get it?
I don't know.
The school did a Mad Max as a play.
They just found it
Yeah.
down in the basement.
Yeah. And they're like, ooh, look at this one. This one's got a spiky mohawk.
How great would an elementary school play version of Mad Max
shit.
be? Amazing?
Have you seen the elementary school production of Scarface yet? That's floating around on YouTube?
Not yet.
You're gonna, because it's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, he had popcorn, right? Instead of
He had a pop.
cocaine.
Was it pop? I can't remember.
I think it was
it might have
popcorn.
been popcorn.
It was very funny.
It's amazing those parents, all of them were okay with that.
Yeah, it was real cute.
Good for them.
Yeah, I don't have much more to say about this movie.
You were going to spoil it. What happens at the end?
Oh,
I want to know.
she's real upset because her child's in a coma.
Right.
And she gets all depressed, so she slits her wrists.
Oh,
and then she goes
good.
into a
And
coma.
then she eats a whole pint of ice cream.
And that's why she's in the ghost world. Mm-hmm. And I guess she's trying to, I guess a demon came into the ghost world and took over the child heaven.
There's a lot of terminology here. Your review needs a glossary.
I guess it was a child heaven, but a demon came in and took it over and made it all creepy and weird.
And then the dogs came over the Rainbow Bridge from Dog Heaven.
And then
And
the
ate
dog
them all.
farted.
Yeah.
yeah.
And I guess she has to defeat the demon to make the child heaven go back to where it was before.
Does she get her kid back?
I don't know.
Okay.
No, she does. She, I guess she has to let her child die because he was on life support or something, I guess, and she just didn't want to let go.
Yeah.
And to finally let him move on from this another world, she used to like, go on. Bye.
We don't want you anymore.
She slapped the child ghost and said, get out of here. It was heartbreaking. Yeah, this movie is real bad. Don't see it.
Yeah, that's stupid. I'm so sorry.
At least it was. Here's the thing. You know a movie's bad when you start checking how far you are along with it.
Oh, yes. I do that a lot.
And it was like a half hour into it. I was like, damn, son. It's long. Well, it felt long. It was only an hour and a half. But
That's what you said.
you should never check how long a movie is.
No, you should never want to, right? Them's the rules.
That's an indicator.
Yeah. If you're looking to see how much is left,
Yeah, you hear me, Martin Scorsese? I tried to watch The Irishman.
I did.
Couldn't
watch
make
The
it through.
Irishman. I finished it.
Freddie has been doing the countdown to our vacation in how many times you would have to watch The Irishman until we left.
Yeah.
You'd only have to watch The Irishman 15 times, and then we're going to leave.
Yep.
Oh, good.
I would never watch The Irishman.
Colin really liked it.
No,
It's
interest.
good. It's a good true crime movie.
I haven't seen it.
I mean, it's not like the shit. It's not the. You know, how people are like, best picture. No. No. I mean, Goodfellas is like.
No, girl, no, it's not the best picture.
He's never going to top what he did with Goodfellas, ever.
Right.
Sorry, Marty.
No, I would.
You peaked.
I'm sure that's probably true.
It's just a very good true crime movie.
Yeah.
All right, well, guess what? It's time to get out the Jack in the Box and start a cranking.
Oh, shit.
Cranky, cranky, crankety crank. All right, so I'm up first. And let's see how I do.
Wrap your fingers around that crank, girl.
I'm really good at that. I'm safe. Freddy! You're safe. Kelly!
Son of a bitch.
I'm
I
so
didn't even get
sorry.
to crank it.
You didn't even crank it.
I didn't even get to crank it
Crankety crank.
before this thing just came all over my face.
Oh,
Wow.
you don't have to work blue. You're better than that.
All right, your movie is called
I'm truly not.
Derailed.
Oh, boy.
Hyphen railed.
Is this that movie with Jennifer Aniston or
No.
some famous person? Remember when that came out? It was a thriller. Clive Owen.
Oh, Clive Owen. Yeah, no, this is not that.
It didn't look good, so I'm glad.
Here we go. Oh, on the little poster here it says, "Stay inside and die. Go outside and fight for your life."
This already sounds good.
A train derails into a lake in the middle of the night, and the passengers are trapped in the sinking wreckage. But what lies beneath the surface is far worse as they fight to survive against a deadly predator determined to kill them one by one.
I mean, it sounds like a cool premise.
Yeah.
I do have to say, I don't know if anything is more terrifying than being in a sinking train in a
Yes.
lake. I think you've reached sort of the outside. I don't know that adding a giant crocodile, I mean, that's not good.
No.
But you aren't going to have much time to really worry anyway.
There's a new game. I don't know if it's out yet or not, but the whole game, it's like a survival horror, but you're on a sinking ship like the Titanic.
Yeah.
But it's also like haunted or something.
Yeah.
And the whole time it's still sinking.
Ooh.
And it gave me anxiety reading about it.
Yeah. That seems like it'd be a cool VR game.
Yeah, I think that's the idea. It's first person. Yeah.
I'll be like the old people in Titanic.
Just lay down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm like, bye.
I'd be like, I don't want to drown. I'd probably head up to where there's not water as fast as possible.
Probably.
But eventually,
Try to get to a lifeboat.
you're going to run out of not water.
And then I die.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's probably going to try until you can't try anymore.
Right. You think, you look at that old couple and you're like, they look comfortable in that bed, but they don't show once the water gets in their room and they're underwater.
And their lungs.
They're not holding hands anymore then.
That's uncomfortable.
Screaming,
Can you text
flailing
me
around.
this?
I may,
I would
in fact,
appreciate-
do that
I would appreciate
for
that.
you.
Oof.
You all right?
I was just freaking out a little bit. I was
just
thinking
thinking about
about
drowning.
it. The fucking Titanic scares the shit out of me. What language? Why do I swear?
Who gives a shit?
Class it up.
Fucking A.
Yeah. So I should move on since we know what's going on, correct?
Yeah.
Since we're all in this thing together now. All
The sinking
together
ship.
now.
All together now.
All together.
Freddie, are you
now.
stalling?
Beyond the darkness, beyond the human evolution, is Khan, a genetically superior tyrant. Exiled to a barren planet, banished by a starship commander he is destined to destroy. Left for dead, he has survived.
I'll chase him round the moons of Nibia and round the Antares maelstrom and round perdition's flames before I give him up. There she is. There she is.
Shield's collapsing, Captain.
Can you give me major power? A few shots, sir.
Not enough against their shields.
The base is stubborn.
Scotty, I need warp speed in 3 minutes or we're all dead. I've done far worse than kill you. I've hurt you. And I wish to go on hurting you. I shall leave you as you left me. Marooned for all eternity. Buried alive. Buried alive. Sean! Sean!
At the end of the universe lies the beginning of vengeance. Star Trek II, The Wrath of Khan.
Well, Khan really fucked up Kirk's day, didn't he?
He really did. Pooped in the punch bowl.
So, welcome to my choice. If you've been listening for a while, you know I'm on a Star Trek journey.
Trailers were better back then. I just got to say.
Yeah, that was really good.
Well, it was definitely better than.
So on my Star Trek journey, I started with Next Gen.
So what made you start getting into Star Trek?
Well, Freddy's like, I think you'd like this. Let's just start watching it. So I was like, all right. I never watched it when it aired Next Generation, and obviously not the original series because I'm not that old. All right, calm down.
Mm-hmm.
What's funny, I always was surprised that you didn't like this. I always thought you would like.
I
Star
never even
Trek.
really tried it. I was just like, nah, it's not for me. That's cheesy and dumb.
Seems like your cup of tea.
And I really fucked myself over.
Yeah,
she likes it more than I like it.
I'm in
I know, she's all in.
I'm in a glut of good content, right? With all the stuff going on with Picard and everything. So,
So were you hooked right away?
it took a little bit into the first season of Next Gen.
First season of Next Gen is not great.
Yeah.
So like I feel like that was not the best place to start, but Amy's a completist.
I have to start from the beginning, and it wasn't miserable or anything. If we all remember, one of my favorite shows, the first season of Buffy, is kind of like meh.
Yeah.
You know.
Same thing with The Office too.
Right.
And Parks and Rec.
Parks and Rec.
Yeah.
So you didn't watch the original series till we had finished Next Gen, right?
Right.
Okay. I couldn't remember for sure.
And then after we finished the original series, Freddy's like, well, let's start watching the movies. And out of all the original series movies, Wrath of Khan, right? I mean, and honestly, out of all the movies I've seen so far, I've seen up through Insurrection.
Yeah.
Wrath of Khan, you guys.
Wrath of Khan and Undiscovered Country are probably the two best.
Oh, I love Undiscovered Country.
Voyage Home is my favorite.
Yeah.
Because it's just kind of goofy. But yeah, Wrath of Khan is, I think, obviously the best one. And then I think Undiscovered Country is probably the second best of the movies.
And so I watched Wrath of Khan this summer, and then we watched it again last night. And I think I didn't realize it at first, and watching it again last night, it's kind of a little bit of a horror movie. Mm-hmm. So, hey, on brand. You know what I'm saying, guys?
It also, one thing, I've probably seen this movie 30 times. And what I've got this time out of it, it's been a really long time. It might have been since my dad was alive. That was the last time I think I even watched this, maybe. But it really feels like just a long episode of the show a little bit, but in a great way, like in a really good way.
Think about the brass balls it took to say, okay, we got this show is canceled 20 years ago. Forget the first movie. Yes, makes sense. Yeah, we're going to make a movie that's kind of inspired by this series we did, much bigger.
Yeah.
But the sequel is literally a sequel to an episode.
An episode that wasn't even that well remembered.
Right.
It wasn't like Khan was the Moriarty of Star Trek. Like it was just,
he never even comes back up.
No.
So it's a first season episode called Space Seed. And I rewatched that again this week. And basically, in that episode, they discover this ship, and they discover people like sort of
The Botany Bay, right?
The Botany Bay, the SS Botany Bay, and these people in stasis. Some have died, some are still alive, and they realize they're a few hundred years old, and that they're from the 90s. And then somebody's like, "Oh, the eugenics wars."
So they've got all their flannels on. Yeah. That's how they pinpoint it.
Yeah, when they open
shirts.
Khan's tube, it's like, kiss me behind the burning.
So they took that BuzzFeed quiz, like, are you a 90s kid?
It's all sixpence, none the
And they're
richer.
like, oh, I am. They passed
If you were a genetically engineered tyrant, you might be a 90s kid. And apparently in the 90s of the world of Star Trek, we had these eugenics wars, and we bred these genetically altered super villains,
Like
super
you do.
Hitlers.
Like you want.
See, I'd love the future of the past.
Yeah.
And I love the look of the whole ship. It's very,
it's great.
the 80s.
Yeah, but
You mean the Enterprise or the
Enterprise.
Enterprise.
This is actually before we
Reliant.
Can I say again though, in this movie particular, now this isn't a criticism, but it's a little bit of a criticism. I actually felt like in this particular movie, the Enterprise looks so much smaller to me than it looks in any other
The bridge feels cramped.
iteration.
Yeah, it's
it
more
feels
like a submarine.
it feels really cramped. The hallways seem short and small. Like even in the original series at the time, it looks so much bigger.
Yeah.
And I was just like, and it's dark.
Well, it's like
This movie was very dark. Darkly lit.
It doesn't have a lot of the socializing scenes that you find in other Star Trek stories, where they're hanging out in their quarters. You only see like Kirk and Spock's quarters, right?
I think so, yeah.
And then the rest of the time, most of it focuses on engineering.
Yep.
Or the bridge.
Yeah, or the bridge. So like in the series, you always had these kind of down moments. Like this movie doesn't have a lot of downtime in it.
No.
It's very much like go, go, go. So yeah, in the episode from the 60s, they find Khan and his crew. They have been exiled on this ship called the Botany Bay because Botany Bay was one of the first Australian penal colonies, and so that's the little nod to that. Khan's a manipulative little fuckface and tries to kill Kirk and take over the Enterprise, but they defeat him and everything, and they agree to leave. They found him a planet to live on.
SETI 5.
And they're like, here you can go. We'll put you on this planet where you can live. So the trailer's wrong. It's not like they banished them and left them to die.
Well, that's how
Khan's
Khan looks at it.
Well,
Yeah.
because the planet gets all fucked up because the other planet next to it exploded or some shit.
Yeah.
And Kirk forgot to check on him. I love that part. Where Khan's
He put them in the oven and they just never came back and they just burned.
You burned my Totinos.
You can still eat them.
Yeah.
Khan is such a fucking egomaniac.
Yeah.
Like he can't believe he got forgotten.
Yeah.
Right? So that's his whole
Well, he's pretty unforgettable.
madness.
Have you seen him?
The bangs, the
I wouldn't forget
chest.
that. Like, he reminded me of Tina Turner from Thunderdome.
Thunderdome, yeah.
He had a bit of a Goblin King thing.
Yeah.
A bit of a Goblin King vibe.
But on the episode of the
very Jim
original
Henson-y.
series, he was they brown faced him on the original series.
Because he's supposed to be like Asian, right? Isn't that what they said?
Khan something Singh is his
Oh,
last
it's
name.
like from like, did he get from like Genghis Khan?
Yeah, he's supposed to be a descendant of Genghis Khan,
Or
right?
yeah, something like that. But
Aren't we all though?
he's definitely not. They didn't brown face him in the movie, which is good. Like
Because
good on
Montalban
ya.
took care of doing that himself
Yeah.
with the sun and tanning beds in the meantime.
And this was also another good pick for me because it's about Kirk being an admiral now, getting older. His eyesight's not as
Okay.
good.
So, this has no connection to the first movie. They're like, all the Star Trek movies, is there like a through line?
There is a through line.
Yeah, but you don't need to really know, except for 2 and 3. 2 and 3 pair.
Yeah.
And the other ones you
Yeah.
could just come in without really knowing
So they're like just
anything.
one-offs kind of.
Although one thing I was going to say, that actually this movie sets up a lot of shit in the other movies. There are consequences from this movie that show up.
The Genesis
movies
project,
Yeah.
yeah.
Genesis, and then they, like in Undiscovered Country, when Kirk and McCoy are on trial, they bring up how McCoy has illegally brought in Romulan ale for years.
Loves that fucking Romulan ale.
And this movie basically fucks Kirk over because he becomes he is wanted as a traitor for blowing up the for blowing up the fucking Enterprise, and he's seen as because of course Khan tells Kirk's former lover and her new son lover, because those two have some fucking chemistry.
Did you recognize that actor who plays her son from Death Spa?
Well, but he sure looks like I just kept calling him Rocky.
Rocky.
Yeah, because
Her son lover.
They have a very sexual chemistry.
I had to go to the Wikipedia, just the plot, to find out that they were son and daughter.
Son and
mother and daughter, mother and son.
Yeah,
what is it again? How's it work when the one has the PP and the one?
Like Kelley said, they had this weird sexual energy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I didn't get that.
I think they were fucking on set, and then it just came through.
He was gay. The actor he died from AIDS not too long after they made this movie.
Not too long after he fucked his mother.
Yeah, that's gross, Amy.
BB Besh.
I didn't come up with this.
But remember when he was in Death Spa? He was the guy who
everybody
cross-dressed in Death Spa.
They all looked alike kind of back then.
With the curly blonde hair.
But he was the villain, the main bad guy in Death Spa.
Oh, was that him?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't.
Remember, he was the best part of that movie.
I just thought he looked exactly like Rock. I thought she had made herself a man.
Oh, maybe.
In 7 days.
Was he the guy in that Thanksgiving movie about the twins? Or is that somebody else?
No, that's somebody else.
That's a whole different thing.
Thanksgiving movie about the twins.
That's Blood Rage or whatever.
Something like that.
Yeah.
So old Kirk.
Yeah.
But Spock is out training a new crew for the Enterprise with Kirstie Alley.
Does she come up in other movies? His wife, not his lover that had the son?
No. But Kirk was like kind of fucking around the galaxy.
They talk about, in 3, she comes, I don't think she's in it, but...
Well, yeah, after this movie she's mentioned, not before.
Okay, it just seemed like they were setting up some more stuff with the son or something like that.
Yeah,
the son
dies, right?
That's the actor Merritt Buttrick. He was also on Next Gen.
Yeah.
I didn't realize that he died in 89.
He ends up dying in the 3rd movie, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, spoiler alert. Sorry. Well, it's like 70 million years old. Mm-hmm. I can't help you anymore. You know?
And they talk about in 3 they call it the Genesis torpedo.
Yeah.
Or the Genesis bomb, I can't remember now.
So right now Spock is training a new crew for the Enterprise.
Mr. Savick.
Mr. I love how everybody's called Mr.
Yeah, and Sir.
And Sir.
It's gender neutral in the future.
And that's Kirstie Alley, and I guess this is her first role. And you can kind of tell how stiff she is.
That's Kirstie Alley?
She's a Vulcan, though. That's part of it.
I know. I guess it kind of helps, but it isn't like a stiffness
I thought
logic,
it was, I thought it was that lady that played Eva Lynn from...
Oh, Meg, what's her name? Foster?
Yeah. They look very similar.
Yeah.
They did back then. Have you seen Meg Foster?
Yeah, she was in that...
she was a horror house.
She does like Rob Zombie movies.
Yeah. Yep.
And Admiral in Bones, and Admiral Kirk, in Bones.
Admiral, they just call him Admiral.
And Uhura and Sulu. The whole gang gets back onto, and they're just going to do a little training.
Almost.
Gallivant.
Chekhov's out doing other shit.
Chekhov's off on the Reliant on a
that's
science mission, trying to find a place where they can use the Genesis.
Him and Paul Winfield.
Yeah.
The voice of City Confidential, one of the best true crime shows ever.
R.I.P. Paul Winfield.
Yeah.
And while they're out on their little training mission, Khan has done some bullshit because Chekhov and Paul Winfield have found him on this horrible planet, and they get bugs in their ears.
These are
my
the
God.
most amazing bugs.
That scene always and continues with this viewing to just absolutely fucking just...
It's extra awful because it's not just the big bug in the sand. He pulls the little larva out between their like the scales or
takes their little babies out.
It's disgusting.
And then he just plops them in their helmets and puts their helmets on.
They look it's very real looking, and the crunching sounds that they make are horrible.
Even though when the close-ups you can tell that's
well, you can tell it's a wax head or something.
So this was Chekhov?
Yeah.
Okay, I thought it was kind of brave that they took like one of the main characters and did this to him, because I thought he was going to die from this.
Yeah.
It definitely raised the stakes. Yeah, to have him be one of those people.
Because even Khan said, like, my wife died from one of these, right? Or something like that.
He said a bunch of the
It
people
took
died.
20 of my people.
Yeah.
So like when he said that, I was like, oh my God, they're going to kill Chekhov.
Yeah.
I know, they really upped the ante. So not only is it...
Chekhov's always almost getting killed.
Is he? Oh,
Yeah.
He
I
almost
don't.
dies in 4 too.
Yeah, that's true.
Because
nuclear vessels.
What Chekhov's doing is helping find a planet for the... So Chekhov, Kirk's former lover and her son lover,
Paul Winfield.
and Khan. It is like these 3 elements to lure Kirk to this place so Khan can fuck his shit up. Khan just wants to be appreciated and loved.
And he really does. Like when they tell the Reliant, that they're going to be taken, they're like, well, who ordered this? And they're like, Admiral James T. Kirk.
I love that the pause and Chekhov is just like, it plays so funny. But it's him trying to fight the worm.
Yeah.
Fight the worm!
But it plays as really funny in the movie.
Yeah.
Because the worm turns you into...
Do you think Chekhov's brain was messed up after that? Like, and they never just addressed it? Like,
Would have been
Bones is
funny if
like,
afterwards he came out without a Russian accent.
Well, the thing is, Bones is not a good doctor. I'm going to say these things, and you're not going to appreciate them. But Scotty is compared to Geordi or Chief O'Brien.
But you got to think
not
about
a good engineer.
I don't
what
know.
they're working with.
Scotty's a pretty goddamn great engineer.
He's great for but I feel like they never let him actually fix anything. Geordi or Chief O'Brien were fucking pulling shit together and out of their butts and fixing it.
Yeah, but how do you think Scotty kept the Enterprise going after it kept getting
duct tape,
photon torpedoed and he had to like reroute the fucking power from the dilithium chamber into here and there to keep the shields going? Scotty's a fucking great engineer.
He was in the Jeffries tubes drinking scotch the whole time.
But he's not as good.
I think he's better than Chief O'Brien. Chief O'Brien
You guys,
is a
this is the nerdiest argument you've ever...
Fine. But can we all agree that Dr. Crusher was a way better doctor
It's like we're on Reddit right now.
than Bones? Everybody died when Bones was around.
It's true.
Well, he loved his Romulan ale.
What?
He loved his Romulan ale.
He's dead, Jim.
That comes up in part 6.
Yeah.
When they bring up his hands shaking and shit like that.
So who's the engineer?
Scotty.
The guy with the Scottish accent.
I feel he's basically just runs around fixing stuff. And
That's his job.
Like he's kind of like running around like Kermit with his arms up.
Yeah.
Well, that's because Kirk is constantly trying to get him to overclock the Enterprise to make it do things that it's not built to do.
Yeah, I just feel I only see him when like bad shit happens.
Yeah.
And he's just running around like and there's always
maybe why I think he's not as good.
Yeah, and there's always steam around him because things are always blowing up.
Well, both Kirk and Khan have this in common. They're the boss that you had at work that had never done your job.
Yeah.
So they don't really understand what you're capable of doing with the tools they've given you, but they still expect you to make it happen.
They're like, it's your problem. Figure it out.
Yeah.
Well, Kurt's like always been arrogant, hasn't he? That his character trait.
But he has compassion too.
Yeah. I love Kirk as a character.
Me too. He's probably one of the more complicated of the captains, mainly because I think because it was written in the 60s, like he has all those hang-ups.
I just pulled Guapo. Andy's dog is here.
He looks like
and he was trying to get on my lap, and now he's giving me kisses. In the
He's trying to get away from Millie's farts.
Baby. So the Genesis machine thing, Mahoo. God, you're a big fat boy. This dog's a big fat boy, but I love him. It can make life out of nothingness, right? Which, when you think about it, and Bones, I think, is dead on. The minute he hears about this, he's like, "This is an apocalyptic weapon because it will kill anything in its path."
But it like takes the life and reforms it. Is that what the thing is? Oh,
anything in its path it will kill in its path to create new life.
Oh, okay.
It basically reorders matter to bring like, it animates inanimate matter, and then anything that's already alive kind of gets
just like exploded and put back together in a different way or something.
Yeah.
Yes,
it's like The Fly. Or something.
I actually love the Genesis Project.
Yeah.
I think it is one of the coolest science fiction ideas.
It's horrifying though.
It's horrifying, but it's also awesome.
Yeah.
Because if you do find a dead planet like they expected to find, that's a wonderful thing. It's a great way to terraform a planet for yourselves. But
can't help but think about Mimic. And you know my problems with the movie Mimic.
That damn Euro Servino.
It's the you don't think it through, the unintended consequences. Just because you can doesn't mean you should.
Well, did you feel that way about the Genesis project?
Well, it immediately falls into the wrong hands.
Well, it falls into the wrong hands, sure.
Yeah, and if you
when you put it that way.
But as a thing on its own, if you don't assume that bad guys are going to steal your product, I think is a very cool thing.
I'm sorry, I can't podcast anymore. I got a snuggly baby.
As long as they follow the ethics of making sure they only test it on what they can completely understand as a dead planet.
Yeah, it's like you wanna be assholes, Klingons. I'm gonna fucking Genesis.
Okay.
Well, that's why later it becomes treated as a terrorist weapon.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So Khan wanted the Genesis thing to bring back his dead people?
No.
Just kill.
It was really
Kirk.
just to lure Kirk, wasn't it?
Okay.
I think his whole thing is he just wanted Kirk to come. He had this opportunity.
I thought
And
he wanted
his
it.
crew. He was telling his crew one thing. I think they didn't realize how much of a rage on he had for Kirk. They knew he hated him, but I think the crew kind of felt like, okay, he hates this guy, but it's one small piece of what we're doing.
Yeah.
And really, it was the whole enchilada.
So he was just setting up a trap for Kirk, right? He didn't necessarily want the Genesis thing.
No.
I even said they should have had Admiral Akbar on this when they received that distress signal to say, it's a trap.
It's a trap. And I mean, Kirk knows it, but he's like, whatever, I got to do it. Because Kirk is you nailed it, very arrogant. And he's like, nobody's going to fucking pull this shit on my watch.
Although I don't know how much, he didn't really have much of a choice either.
True. So they head off and they're fighting and they get very damaged. Like soups damaged, you guys.
They, a lot of people on Enterprise get burnt. And there's radiation leaks.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's a very dangerous job to have a job on the Enterprise, right?
The poor ensigns that were just training.
Yeah, right. Well, I knew when they lined up, they had the engineering guys. I was like, oh, here's your red shirts.
Yeah.
These dudes are going to die in some kind of horrible accident.
But he gets attacked in like every movie, right? And people get sucked into space every movie.
Sucked into space,
No,
not
they
so
get
much.
sucked into space,
Because
but-
if you get a hole, they put a little force field there.
But like all the movies I've seen, I've only seen a couple, but it's always people in the boiler room just being tossed around and falling.
It's very much like the Titanic.
Well, Star Trek is a lot of the key to a good Star Trek performance is knowing how to fall in and out of chairs.
Yeah.
And be thrown into things.
Some are less so than others. Again, 4, there's not like a lot of space battles. I don't think in 3 there's a lot of space battling.
And they can't afford a lot of them on TV, on the TV shows, so you don't get a lot of it. I mean,
more on the later episode, like more on the later series. I think you get a lot more like starship battle action.
once the effects become cheaper.
Well, even in this movie, I felt it was. I don't know if they had a big budget.
Yes.
Yeah.
Did they?
Yeah, it was a very big
Okay,
budget.
because it didn't seem like
well, it's
big,
still the 80s.
but it just seemed like a long episode to me.
Yeah.
It definitely felt like a long episode, but again, I in a great way. Like all the characters were like at the, you were really getting, and a little bit of development, but you were still getting like the classic characters that you love. Poor Spock.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
They end up beaming down to the where they've used the Genesis machine underground, because that was one of the phases of testing, and they meet up with the with Kirk's son.
I don't think they did test it underground. I think they skipped that.
Well, she said she kind of.
She said they were
the
going
small
to.
version.
Yeah.
She had kind of grown some stuff. She said it was like a mini version of it.
Yeah.
And that was that big like.
Right, that was in their thing.
Yeah,
but
terraformed cavern thing.
But I think they end up skipping because they were going to do it in underground tunnels, but then I don't think they do.
I can't remember exactly. Yeah.
We just watched this last night, and I can't remember the.
But the effect is so great.
I know that was one of the phases.
Like I assume that's like a matte painting, but there's also waterfalls in it.
Yeah.
And it's pretty seamless.
Oh, it's a great,
Yeah, I love that moment. It feels like it's kind of almost like a Garden of Eden type of environment.
I mean,
and it gives you that, again, that like otherworldly kind of, lush planet feel where, in a story that doesn't have that. Like you still get a little bit of that like Star Trek-y, like, ooh.
And you can see why Kirk is into this doctor because she is so good.
Yeah.
Like she's like, can I cook or can I cook is the line when she shows him the, all this stuff. It's pretty cool.
I think what I like most about Star Trek and like when they're doing the big battle sequences is it's military, and I'm not really into the military, but it's that concept of a bunch of people really good at their jobs who have been through a lot of training and that know exactly what they're supposed to be doing, and they're trying to do it. And they understand the chain of command, and nobody's trying to fight to do this or that or the other. They're like, we're in this together and we're going to do this and we're good at it.
We should play Starfleet Battle sometime.
Yeah.
No, you would hate that. It's a lot of complicated rules, but it's pretty cool.
And that the main thrust of Star Trek isn't necessarily battles, although they'll do that on the big screen. I understand why they would for a big movie. Star Trek is about the fucking shit they tell you. This is our voyage to go look at some new shit.
Well, yeah, initially
say hi
the
to new
Enterprise
people.
is a scientific vessel.
Yeah.
It's a science vessel.
See, that's why I like whenever
A heavily armed science vessel.
whenever you hear like the opening credits and that music plays, it feels like I'm on Spaceship Earth.
Yeah.
It just feels very inspirational.
Yes, it's aspirational.
Yeah, aspirational, and it like I love the idea of exploration and just education and peace.
Yeah.
And they just happen to run into bad shit. They're not out to do.
They're not out to find it or to do it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it feels very, very much like a ride on Disney.
Although later they do, like on some of the things, they talk about Starfleet being more militaristic than they appear.
And they become more so the further along you get in all the series.
Like in Voyager.
Yeah, and from what I hear about Picard is...
It's very much that Starfleet needs to clean up its own house.
Yeah.
That it's
Right.
not the aspirational utopia.
Because people always ruin it.
Yeah.
It's just how we do.
They're flying they're hiding from each other. They're chasing Khan and Kirk are chasing each other through the nebula or whatever. They're all very heavily damaged at this point. Like the warp core's fucked up on the Enterprise, and everybody on Khan's ship is dead.
It's only due to Scotty's amazing abilities as an engineer that the Enterprise
I'm not
is
saying he's not
still
great.
running.
Yeah.
I just think that the TV shows, when you line them up, portray.
Well, do you ever think, like, they always give, like, Geordi and O'Brien get to do things that are way outside of their job description.
Yeah.
Scotty is usually doing his engineer job, and if he's on an away team, it's just because, like...
They like him.
They like hanging out
That's
with
what I
him.
take him. He's one of the boys.
Exactly. It's a real boys club.
Yeah.
Well, O'Brien has to do a regular engineer's job, and he had to learn Cardassian.
He had to become a spy.
I'm sorry, what?
Cardassian language and engineering.
This is true. O'Brien is a brilliant man.
Cardassians. It's with a C and no sh.
Yeah, I keep up with them.
Yeah.
There's a great Maria Bamford bit, by the way, if you've never heard it, listeners, where she talks about being a character in a Star Trek in a Star Trek show at some mall that in Texas, and she explains the genocide of the Cardassians upon the
Bajorans.
The Bajorans. And she's a Bajoran. It's really fun.
Aw, she would be a Bajoran.
I'll send it to you guys because it's worth a listen. It's really funny. Maybe I'll post it on the group.
Yeah, you
I
should.
might not though. I'm lazy.
And Khan's like, I got an idea, motherfucker. I'm gonna set this fucking Genesis bullshit off on you, and we'll all die. Mm-hmm. And they've got no way of getting away from the blast. They know what's happening on the Enterprise, and they have no way of getting away fast because the warp's not working. And Spock in the background's like, "Bitch, I got an idea," and just calmly walks off and walks into the very, very, very heavily irradiated, deadly chamber to fix the warp core.
I love how Spock and how Leonard Nimoy always emotes this on the series and in the movies. Like, you see him make the split decision.
Mm-hmm.
He never hems or haws over anything.
No.
Because he's so
Vulcan,
logical.
baby.
He's like, this is what has to be done. I'm going to move towards getting it done no matter what.
Are you out of your
does
Vulcan mind?
Yeah.
Leonard Nimoy is such a good, subtle, nuanced actor that even though he portrays, because Vulcans, they have emotions, but they suppress them. And I feel like a lot of people just try to play Vulcans as just, oh, that's not logical.
Right. Just robots.
And Leonard Nimoy never, like, he comes
He's half human.
Well, he is half human. You're right, and maybe he pulls that into his portrayal. But he just his face like conveys so much of that. Like, he just really nails that, that warring of the two natures too, so that he always feels very human. But like you said, he just makes these decisions because he's like, well, the only way out of this is this.
Yeah.
So I'm just going to do it.
Well, I did notice there were a couple sassy moments from Spock.
Oh,
Is
yeah.
that his name?
Yeah.
Yeah, sorry.
He's a little sass monster.
Yeah, it's like I wasn't expecting that.
He picks on bones. They pick on each other.
like Kelly said, like people think like Vulcans are these just emotionless creatures, but like he's a little like an old queen sometimes.
So is Bones.
Oh, Bones really is. And what's funny is it's the same insults
Yeah.
that he's been making since the original series.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
it's the same things. You green-blooded.
I love that part where Spock is like, Jim, be careful. And then Bones turns around and says, we will be. Because he's like, I'm your friend too, you asshole.
Well, I like that scene where Kirstie Alley,
Yeah.
Savick,
Yeah.
Got it.
yeah, she's talking about Kirk, and they're talking in Vulcan, and they have that moment where they're just throwing shade at him.
Yeah.
And said, and what's wrong with him? And he's like, oh, he's too human or something like that.
Yeah.
I think that's a little Vulcan shade they were throwing around.
They just don't get it. So Kirk doesn't realize what's going on. He's too busy on the bridge saving everybody's life. And they get the warp capabilities and they just zoom the fuck out of there just in time. And they're like, yay, we did it. And then Bones is like, Jim, you need to get down here. And that's, what a moving scene.
Oh yeah.
Bookend's nice because they had the same exchange under just regular day-to-day
I
circumstances.
have been and always shall be your
Yeah.
friend.
Yeah.
Just such a beautiful thing.
It's a great line.
I worried
great
about
moment.
you crying, Andy, but you said you didn't really have a lot of
The connection to the characters. But
Characters.
it was still very moving because
Yeah.
I remember at that one point, like Spock is walking toward them and he runs into the glass.
Yeah.
Because I guess he's blind at that point.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It was
Burnt
just
on.
it was
Nice
just
touch.
that little moment
Again.
that was like, oh my gosh.
Yeah.
It was just like that subtle little tiny moment.
Yeah, I don't know if that was a director's choice
Yeah.
or an acting choice, but it was great. It really nailed how he's. I mean, you know, what
definitely
I mean? It's
dying,
fucked up.
Yeah. And he's like just making his way toward his friend just to have that last moment with him.
Yeah.
And he can't see him, but he can hear him and feel him there. But it was just very moving, even though I don't have any connection to the characters.
Right. It's just, and then the funeral scene,
Yeah.
where they're sending Spock's coffin pod out into.
As some people call it, the
Space.
sunglasses case.
Yeah.
Yeah, they said that on Seinfeld.
Yeah.
Why? I had this thought last night. Why would they play taps when he's Vulcan?
He's half human.
He's half human. I was like, what's the
and
Vulcan
Scotty probably
equivalent?
insisted on it. It was Amazing Grace.
Yeah,
Wasn't
with
taps, was it?
bagpipes.
Oh, why did I think
Yeah,
it was taps?
That's okay. Military funerals.
What the fuck ever?
But
It was this very moving speech that Kirk makes,
Oh,
and
yes.
Shatner like nails that, and he's crying, and I think it's just a very.
I
genuine
think there's
moment.
I think there's a misconception that William Shatner is a bad actor, and he's not a bad actor. I think I realized upon rewatching the original series 4 or 5 years ago, that's Kirk.
yeah.
That's not Shatner. That's Kirk who talks like that, and
Right.
that's that character.
But also he brings like something unique.
Yeah.
He amps it. It's one of those things where I always say I'd rather see someone who's an interesting actor than someone who's a quote unquote like chameleon.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like it's better. I like having somebody stamp on it.
Yeah.
Otherwise it's impersonation.
Oh, he stamps all over it.
Yeah.
I will say I do not like the uniforms.
Oh,
in
God,
the
I hated
80s.
these
They're
uniforms.
just so bulky and
What about the coats that they wear?
The
when they're-
maroon and beige.
and the with the turtlenecks. It
Oh,
just-
the coats are kind of cool though.
I love the engineering ones.
Yeah.
The white ones with the like puffy circle thingies.
Oh,
Yeah.
Those are very fun.
They're so fun.
Yeah.
And you know what's like about this movie? I like how it was a game of chess basically, and like Kirk and Spock are never in the same. They never encounter each other.
Not really, yeah.
They're like just separated by ships and just communicating through
Yeah.
like intercoms. Is that what it's called?
Communication.
Communication. Right.
Communication
So they're
systems.
they're just trying to outwit each other. It's not like some big fight or anything like that. That's why that's why I thought the budget wasn't that big.
It was 11.2 million in 1982, I
If
think.
Khan was
82.
just cool about it all, it would have been like, oh, you have this thing, you're going to make a nice, cool planet that maybe we can just go there. If he had just been like, oh, can we just do that?
Yeah.
Yeah, because most of the
But he
movie
can't
takes
help
place on the ships or just a big room. So
Yeah.
that's why I thought there wasn't that big of a budget because it was felt very intimate.
Yeah.
They spent a lot of money on maroon cloth.
And all that tanner for those
The, the Chippendale dance.
Good Lord.
Okay, was that a choice, their outfits, or was it because they've been on the planet for so long?
They were already kind of dressed like that.
Or were they? Okay. That's
his people from the Botany Bay, remember? He was kind of a shirtless, Like his
he was
clothing
definitely
rejects
sleeveless.
Yeah,
Yeah.
collars.
I just thought their costume choices are because their uniforms were like kind of degrading and they were just using whatever was around.
I think it's because they have these genetically enhanced bodies and they want to show them off. Frankly,
That planet was very close to the sun too. Apparently,
I'll tell you what's really neat. And Amy, you know, I probably wouldn't even have thought about this if you hadn't brought it up when we were watching Deep Space Nine. That the Dr. Julian on
Dr.
that
Bashir.
series, Dr. Bashir, is
Genetically.
he's genetically enhanced illegally because that was like this is the reason that stuff's
Well, the
illegal.
eugenics wars, and he even mentions Khan in an episode.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
So it is part of the canon that because of Khan and people like him in those wars, that's why it's illegal.
Yeah.
You can't compete on an even playing field if somebody can use some money to go make themselves better. But Bashir gets gets the slide.
Yeah, his
from
parents.
Starfleet.
Well, they do it without, you know,
Yeah.
when he's a little boy.
got some fillers and Botox.
Yeah.
And that's why I wouldn't say he's the best doctor, because would he have been the best doctor? Oh, Dr. Crusher is the best doctor out of all. But I have not seen, well, I mean, you can't say the emergency medical hologram on Voyager. But I haven't seen like Enterprise or Discovery or, you know, I don't know. Oh, I just nerded hard.
Yeah. Did it feel good?
Yeah,
You
it
felt like one of
did.
us?
But yeah, then Spock just shoots out
Yeah.
and he's a beautiful star, and then he lands on the planet, and you're like, wait a minute, maybe he. And then the next movie, and he is reborn as little baby Spock, and then he goes through puberty.
is there a
It's
baby
real awkward.
Spock. He has an accelerated growth.
Oh, I thought they
though.
were going to show like a baby Yoda type thing.
Well, no, you see a baby Spock.
Ow, with
Yeah.
little
You see a
ears and
baby
everything?
Spock, and then you see him as a teenager. Because because
Yeah.
the on the Genesis planet, it accelerates his growth, and then he put his Katra, as he calls it, basically his personality into McCoy.
Do you remember right
They
before
set it
he
up,
goes
yeah.
into
Yeah.
the chamber
Yeah.
and he Vulcan mind?
Yeah.
He puts his fingers on
He says,
McCoy
"Remember."
and says, remember.
So does the baby Spock still have the little Spock haircut?
Yeah, when he's
I
little,
can't
he does.
remember.
So
But
cute.
it's great too because like it's something you don't see in this movie, Andy. And if you go back and watch the original series, like they go through this really hellacious kind of
Puberty?
Ponfar.
Vulcans.
Yeah, it's
And
fun.
like Kirstie Alley,
Their blood boils.
they get
she's
real mad.
in the
It's
third
painful.
movie. The character, not Kirstie
They-
Alley, doesn't
they
play
recast
it,
her, yeah.
but she
Yeah.
has to fuck like teenage Spock to keep him from going crazy.
I forgot about
Their
that part.
puberty's
too.
cray.
Who plays Savick in 3? I think it's
Yo
somebody else
Mama.
famous.
Yo, mama. Wouldn't it be funny if it was
I'm
Taylor
gonna find
Swift?
Yeah, it would be funny if it was Taylor Swift because she wouldn't.
She did a baby.
Would she even be a baby?
No, she was born in.
She just turned 30.
So there you go.
Yeah, and like I said, this sets up a lot of trouble for Kirk over the next several movies. He goes to trial later. Well, that's for they think he kills the Chancellor, but in 6. But anyway, it keeps coming up.
Wow, he was in there. How many movies is
There were
like
6.
this crew in?
Oh, more than 6.
Well, in 7, they were in Generations.
Yeah.
They recast Savick with an actress named Robin Curtis.
Oh, I don't know her.
She was also on
I
MacGyver.
don't know her. I'm so glad you guys. Did you enjoy it, Andy? You are not a Star Trek person.
I'm might dip my toes into the Star Trek waters.
I highly recommend Next Generation. I think it is such a fucking ride.
But is it like old timey TV where one season is like 20 episodes or 26
20,
episodes?
Yeah.
like 4 or 5.
Damn. That's a lot.
know.
That's a lot of episodes.
But that makes me happy. I'm like, look at all of this I get to experience.
The original series is very colorful. It's got that 60s sheen to it. Like I said, I think that's my favorite one to watch. It's not the best,
No, watch the Gorn episode.
but
Okay.
I love the Gorn.
So each like season of Star Trek, is there a through line or is it just kind of like one-off episodes all the time?
It's usually one-offs.
It's one-offs
Usually-
with there's some arcing stuff.
Yeah.
Like there
Yeah.
are arcs throughout, but then once those resolve, then it's kind of on to the next
Okay.
arc.
It is fun just to start with the original series because
Deep
there
Space
aren't
Nine
that
is
many
more-
of them.
Yeah, there's only
serialized.
76 episodes,
Something
I think,
like
of the
that,
original.
yeah.
Yeah.
But I'm just so used to like sci-fi or like, you know, horror series or any like genre series to have like an overarching story throughout the season.
Well, this was before that
Yeah.
became the norm. Even Next Generation but Deep Space Nine is a little bit more serialized, but that was before that became the norm.
Yeah, I
So
think
there's more one-offs.
the first time I ever watched like a series like that was like probably X-Files. So I'm not used to
Yeah.
that type of TV other than, you know, X-Files like type
Right.
of storytelling.
Right.
So it'd be interesting to like go wade into those waters.
Yeah, there are through lines, but it's not like there's like a big bad at the end of every season or anything.
Not until
like
you
that.
get to Deep Space Nine.
Okay.
Then there's kind of one story arc, but not until like season 5.
Fucking Jem'Hadar and the
Jem'Hadar.
Minions and the Founders. Mother and the Vortas.
Oh no!
So I should start off with Next Gen or
I think so.
original?
I'd start with the original because you're going to appreciate Next Gen more if you do watch the original first, I think.
I love Next Gen. I didn't start that way.
Okay, is the original campy? Because I love camp.
Yes.
Very.
The outfits, you will cream your jeans.
Yeah.
It's beautiful. It's a beautiful series to watch. It's very colorful. It's very mod. It's
They
great.
couldn't afford like a lot of prosthetics and makeup work, so
They still did pretty good.
It's super
little bit.
progressive, but at the
They did
same
pretty good.
time,
You're so critical.
there's all these weird little things in there because they didn't know better.
look at the Klingons. They didn't have any prosthetics on them.
No, they didn't. They just had beards.
Yeah.
mostly if you were bad, you had a beard.
Facial hair equals evil.
How did they? Because I know that actually gets addressed later.
It's on Deep Space Nine when they
Yeah.
do the episode where they go back to the Tribble episode.
right.
And they're like, why do the Klingons look like that? And Worf's like, we don't like to talk about it.
And that's basically it.
Oh, okay. I thought there was more of an explanation. Maybe there is in the books.
Oh, there might be. It's more fun not to know.
Yeah.
All right, Freddie. Well, we're
Yeah.
done with my choice. So, wait. It was Lauren, right?
Yeah, Lauren won, and we'll be recording that episode. You'll get that one on February
16th.
19th.
19th.
Right? Or no, maybe you're right. 16th. You're right. I was
16th.
looking at January.
Why should I listen to you?
And we're going to be talking about the first season of Fleabag.
Right, which I haven't started yet.
I've seen both seasons. It's fantastic. I think you'll really like it. But the first season, it plays out about the length of a movie.
Yeah.
So it works out to be kind of like watching a movie. It's on Amazon Prime if you want to play along.
Alrighty.
And you've probably heard of it. There's a lot of buzz around it.
I mean, how could you not?
Right.
How could you not?
And if you want an opportunity to select the main attraction for our next theme, you can sign up for our mailing list at notlp.com. Just scroll down till you see the Dracula stamp in there and fill out the little form. I also wanted to say we're having a meetup before the next episode releases.
It's a virtual meetup.
A virtual meetup on the Discord server the 13th of February, so the night before Valentine's Day. We'll probably do some sort of Valentine's appropriate.
Come hang out with the people you really love.
Valentini.
Oh, it's like a romantic dinner.
Yeah.
Exactly. So we want to thank our Beelzebubs. These are our big supporters that really help us keep going.
These are all Starfleet admirals in my mind and heart.
Jim Bolding, Cassie and Jeremy Burmeister. You're getting that shirt. Amy bagged it, I swear to God.
Jeremy
she
is
did.
one of my Star Trek nerd friends.
Bill Fahrner,
We're going to shoot the Genesis at you, Bill.
Blake Heath, Amanda James, Alise Kombrinck,
Oh.
Mr. Alise Kombrinck.
Mr. Alise Kombrinck,
On the
Mr.
bridge,
Alise Kombrinck,
sir.
I'll be reporting to you soon.
Jeff Lancaster, Tree and Alex McNulty,
Hello.
Hi.
Ernie Perez, Mark Watts,
Commander.
Branan, Whitehead, and Emily Intravia,
Lieutenants.
Iona Goodwin,
Human.
Human.
Human,
Human.
Adam Ingram.
I would give 1,000 strips of latinum, gold pressed latinum, to all
Gold
of you.
pressed. All right, so thank you again. We'll see you guys.
Thanks, guys.
soon.
Star Trek.
Make it so.
Frankenstein was wondering if he